Ah, I almost fell out of the loft. My silly goosey. this later on. For now. Hi everyone, and welcome to my live stream. Live cooking. Thank you so much for joining us. If I haven't gotten time to go through the greetings and the hellos and the highs, so, I'd just like to say thank you. I acknowledge your presence. Yeah, so welcome. So I'm always doing these live streams every single evening, unless I'm going out with my husband. So yeah, we always have live stream cooking over here every single day. Home cooked meals. Something you can use if you ever run out of dinner ideas. Today I'm improvising like something from your favorite restaurant. Yeah. So here you just have to be careful with your fingers. Yeah. My cabbage is really crunchy and really tasty. Yeah, both are very, very soft, which is a good thing for what I'm trying to make today. Yeah. Like I said, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm always doing live stream cooking every single evening. During I do live stream fitness at the gym. Okay, and on Saturdays I do live dance fitness sessions at home because it's the day that I So yes, don't miss any of that. I feel like I should make them this tiny. Yeah, but I also don't want to mess up with how they look. But the ones that came out bigger, I think I'm just gonna crush them into like tiny particles. Just looking fine. So one thing about cabbage from here, it's very, very soft. Yeah, also good for salads. No, it's like in this chewable size. It's not hard to actually bite into. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm done with that. I guess the mix can mix up together and make really good mix for the rest. Yes, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my carrots, peel it, split it, tomato salads, onions, potatoes. Yeah. Alright, so this is the next thing. We wash. A lot of people prefer the only have to say we wash. So we wash, we grate, we peel, we grate. That order. Every single day. That same order. Oh no, my Sheila. So now that we're done with that. Also guys, whatever I'm trying to make today might not be as perfect as you expected. But remember, this is a home version, okay? It's a home version, for God's sake. Be nice. We're going to try our level best to do our very best actually. We always do that. I always say either do your best or you improvise and come up with an extremely better plan. So whether you improvise and come up with something better, or you do your best to come as close as possible. Yeah. So that is clean. This is clean. This is what I mean. Alright. So that is done. Next thing. Today I'm not going to be using the same corner I'm always using. I'm going to try and make it as tiny as possible. Basically, it's a tiny version of the cut I'm always using, which is also very, very comfortable. Like it doesn't seem to want to slice my finger off. That's what I mean when I say comfortable. So yeah. All in all, you just need to be careful not to slice your finger off. Yeah, those are the ones that refuse. Hi. What is this? So yeah, I got it to a very shrimp body. Size. Tiny gratings. Desirable looking, right? So this is basically how it looks like. It's super thin sliced, like that. Yes, and it's amazing because that's what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to erase this off because everything you use, you clean. You clean as you go. That's what I do all the time. Makes my work easier. Makes me feel less stressed when I finish. Washed and dried. The next thing we're going to do, I'm thinking about it, is we're going to get into the onions. So basically I need two different types of onions for the salsa and for the other thing I'm making. That's why I'm cutting the red one. The one actually goes well with the salsa. Peel it, the dead skin off, wash it. Cut it. That is the whole procedure. You peel, you wash, you cut. So yeah.
Someone follow the recipe.
For this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can share the recipe. But do you know what I'm making in the first place? Because I'm going to do a lot of work. I'm going to share my recipe in the description. Yes, because like I haven't created like an email contact where I can actually interact with people, but yes, I will share something in the description. Okay. So after uploading, you can come back and check out the recipe. Okay, guys? Yes. So I find onions annoying in salsa if they are like bigger chunks. so I try to make them as tiny as possible because they're easy to consume when they're like that. Now it's the crying part. Yeah, I have to cry. This is the part where you get emotional. And you're like, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I mean, it's also the part where you can cry if you had a bad day. And like, blame it on the onion, okay? So this is what we're doing. We are making them as tiny as possible because once they're this tiny, they are easier to eat, basically raw or otherwise. So yes, that's what we're doing. They remain crunchy, but they remain biteable, and yeah. Yeah. So. So I'm just going to put this in a separate bowl because that would not be possible. This is us going in with the onions. It's massive and it's tiny. It's in chunks, which is amazing. This is what we want. So they're tiny, tiny cubes. I already cut them into tiny cubes when I was cutting. But then after you go over with the knife, they become even tinier, and this is the size portion that I get from that, and it was half an onion, and it's, well, it's making me, it's making me emotional. Oh my God, this is, you know, it's basically emotional abuse when you come to think about it. The relationship between a chef and the onion, this is abuse. Like, why? Why would somebody make you cry for no reason? Or something? Onion? Why? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my tomato, depends on your English teacher, teacher of English, English teacher, teacher of English. Same thing for me. Okay, so I'm going to try and get this into cubes as well, because that's what I'm aiming for. Okay, cut them vertical and horizontal. When my mom used to cook for us when we were kids, well, this might be nothing to a lot of people, but like, we used to get this when you were cutting the tomato, and she would give you a slice and put some salt for you. It was like a small treat for like, thank you for watching me, thank you for watching my channel, thank you for learning something, you know. So yeah, so basically, I guess me leaving the recipe and giving you guys the recipe is like that small tomato my mom used to give us. She would be like, yeah. And like any other person that wasn't learning that day doesn't get to taste the tomato in the kitchen. Well, it was a lot of small, tiny treats. Like, for example, if we were cooking chapati that day and we were in the kitchen together, well, you'd get to taste actually the first chapati with her. And this was such a big moment for anybody who was learning that day. And it was just I feel like it was a very bonding, emotional moment. And now that I think about it, I feel like I should continue that same trend with my kids if the time comes that I have to teach them how to cook. You just make it like, I don't know, you can call it a bribe, you can call it a trophy, you can call it whatever, okay? So you know that when you're going to be in the kitchen, you're going to be tasting something before everybody else. And it was just like a happy moment for me in my childhood. I don't know how my other siblings feel about it, but for me, now that I look back, I feel like that was something. Yeah, so basically, I feel like my mom was just trying to not make the whole process all too serious. Yeah, so I guess you have to want to teach your kids something and you have to say there's something in it for them. What is in it for me? Well, you get to taste the first chapati. How about that? You get to taste the stew. You get to tell me if the beef is well done or not. Or, like it just creates some bonding with your kids and something. I don't know. I mean, that's what I got. As long as like you're spending time with your kids and your family and they get to remember those tiny meaningless moments, they have learned something. Okay, so for me it was that. Also, I grew into food enthusiast. I became somebody who wanted to like be a chef. I know for some reason I didn't become a chef, but like the universe had other plans. Look at me now, cooking for the rest of you. Yeah, so I'm done with the second half of the tomato. But boy, I need a lot of tomatoes today because yeah. So this is us. We're doing a lot. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to cut like a half of this or just four because half of this is covered in onions and like the minute you do one scoop you're done. It shouldn't be less. I need it to be more actually when you're in the kitchen. I need it to be more. When you're like serving it, I actually need it to be more. So I'm just gonna add the tomatoes like I planned and try not to be slow with the cutting. Okay. Just a moment, guys. Okay, so all right. So our tomatoes are almost done. If anybody is wondering what we are making today, we are making something from your favorite restaurant. But like depending on your favorite restaurant, what is your favorite restaurant? Maybe we should start from there. What is your favorite restaurant? I don't know, but like probably I'm making something from my favorite restaurant. But I'm sure like if I say, a lot of you are gonna be like, yes, that's my favorite restaurant too. I mean, which cuisine do you enjoy more? Maybe I should have asked that. What is your favorite cuisine? Like, maybe your top three. It's definitely in your top three. I'm trying to give you hints over here. Definitely in your top three, maybe. That's not bottom 10 or something. I don't know. Okay. So that's what we are making. Something from your favorite restaurant. Think about it. Has to be top three of your favorite cuisines. And the simplest, yes. Simplest answer is always the answer. Okay? I'm sure a lot of you already know what I'm making, so I don't need to worry about that. forever. But forgive me, my knife skills try to survive. Don't cut your finger. Those are my knife skills. So yeah, so far we're doing great. Doing a good job, Kylie. You're doing a good job. Okay, and this is and this is not one of those recipes where you start with me and then you get somewhere and you're like, oh, well, I should have just given up a long time ago. No, this is a good one. I've had so many male friends tell me about that. Like you start, for them it was always the chapati. Like they start making the chapati and like halfway there they realize that this is gonna take a long time and they just dump the whole dough because it has refused to like be what do I say, consistent enough to be held. And now they just dump the whole thing and like they turn it into something else. Or sometimes it's making ugali, and at some point they are like, this is a lot. Or maybe they run out of flour and they turn from ugali to porridge. Those were always my funniest favorite stories. Like somebody someone telling me like the recipe didn't work, so they changed into something else. Halfway, it's crazy. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you wanted to make rice but it turned into ugali? What? How? Like, I have so many questions. Like, tell me please, explain this to me. How? How did we get there? I don't get it. Okay? I don't understand. Please make me understand, okay? So yeah. Those were always like mostly stories from my male friends or my single friends or just basically people that I knew that either were not married or like just didn't care to cook at all. So when they finally tried, it backfired and they just decided, well, I guess cooking is not made for me. I'm just gonna eat in the restaurant next time, you know? Yeah, those kind of stories too. Okay, the next thing we're doing is we are cutting our red and green bell peppers, my favorite things in the planet Earth. These are my favorite thing in the planet Earth. I mean, I have a lot of other favorite things, but yo, it doesn't hurt to actually tell them this. They need to know. Hi, bell peppers, you're my favorite in the whole wide world. Yes, so yep. We're almost starting the main project. And when I say the main project, yo, I mean it, because this is going to be a lot of work. A lot of work. Yeah. Simple but still hard, but simple. That's why you see me trying to rush through it. The thing about me is I could be like, I want to do this way, I want to do this way. Like I always try to have options in my head. Like you see how I just said, like if somebody was making ugali and the water was just too much and it turned into a porridge. Yes, I'm not saying that's a good thing. That's a bad plan. But like before you start making the ugali, did you consider the water? Did you measure the water? Did you check if you had enough flour? You know, you have to like think before you start something. Think, are you going to see it through? Is it going to backfire? You know, you have to weigh your options. Check if you have everything ready, then start. If you don't, then you can change to something else. If you can't change to something else, then improvise. You know, yeah, that's how I ended up making miauka instead of moussaka. So yeah, I basically made something between lasagna and moussaka, and well, it wasn't a mess. It was eatable, but then again, it wasn't any of those things. That's why I called it miauka. Because me and my husband are always joking about these cat names and anything we can call between a cat. Yeah, so that is that. We have this done here. The next thing we're going for, because we are done with chopping ingredients, is the last thing we are going to cut in the name of ingredients, and then we move to the big stuff. Oh no, we still have something we need to grate. It's not a big deal. Calm down, guys. It's not actually a big deal, but yes, it's just some cheese. Just some cheese, alright? Sure. So now we have cheese. I need to grate the cheese, some of it. We can use this later and we don't have to at that time we don't have to be now trying to, you see? That's what I mean when I say all your ingredients need to be ready, because when you finally turn on that heat, you're actually ready to go, like you're ready to roll, if you know what I mean. You're rolling, so that is not the time to start trying to find where are my onions, where are my tomatoes. No, you have them because you are supposed to already have cut them and place them aside. It makes actually cooking very easy, and this is something like my mom used to do. And funny thing about parents in general, I think, is once they start aging, they forget their own rules. They forget they're the ones who said, oh, all things need to be ready. When you're cooking this, you have to have this sitting, waiting. You know, like my mom has gotten to that point where she's like trying to cut her tomatoes and onions while she's cooking. And I'm like, Mom, who are you? You know, that's why like every time I go to her place, I can't let her cook, because first she's like, oh chef, like she's just like, I enjoy your meals. I'm gonna make it taste horrible, and if you cook, it's gonna be nice. So like she's hyping me up, obviously, but then again, guys, have you tasted my meals? Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah. So like I was saying, sometimes they just forget they invented these rules. Like my mom was such a hurry up kind of person, like be quick, be chop chop kind of person. And now that she's aging, and because she raised us like that, and I particularly took after that, I literally hate when people are slow. I'm like, what is it that you can't comprehend? What is it that you don't get? Which part do you need me to explain times 10 so that you know what I'm saying? You know, like I have become this impatient person, either when I'm getting into a bus or somewhere, or a plane even. Like my first time on a plane, I was like, why are these people slowing everybody down? Sir, do you not know where you're going? And like, there's some people on the front line who are just like walking back and forth. They don't know where to put their suitcases. How about above your seat? How about that? How about you do that and let other people pass? Because we are standing here because of you. You don't know where to put your things. How dare you? You know, so I have become this impatient person, and I feel like most of it comes from the fact that my mom was always like, be fast, be really fast. Like, I basically hate when people are slow, and I know this is gonna haunt me when I'm aged, whatever, fine. But then again, I always tell my mom that all the time, because now she's slow, and I'm like, Mom, aren't you the person who said people need to like be on their feet, be chop chop, you know? Like I'm always telling her this, like I'm not like haunting her with it, but like we joke about it a lot. And my sister is constantly like, Mommy's old now. I'm like, what do you mean old? She's not even 50 something. Yo, if she's that old, she's like literally just landed on her 50s. Like, what are you talking about, you know? So, really watch this. So, yeah, I'm always refusing that my mom is old. But then again, my mom is not old, okay? She's literally not old. So, I'm constantly like, what do you mean? She's still strong enough to do this and that. But then I forget that when you age, like, certain things just change. Your body just changes. Okay? It doesn't matter how strong you used to be, you just change. So I'm always like, aren't you the one who hated slow people? But she also still hates slow people. That's the funny thing. She hates slow people until it's her. And she's like, give me time. But when it's someone else, she's like, so slow. I think it's just something that sticks with you, I guess. I don't know how to put it. But honestly, my mom hated people that are slow. Like if she was teaching you something, maybe math or whatever studying, because like my mom used to teach us. My mom actually taught us how to read and write before we started schooling. And this is something that actually really played a key role in our education, okay? So my mom taught us how to read and write before we started school. Literally, all of us. So when we went to school, we were already reading and writing. And people were always like, how? Aren't you like, how? You know, like people are always like wondering how and when. So yeah, that is something about her. So you get when I say like, I don't understand that the same person who was like that strong and that fast and like who would think ahead of time and stuff like that, now is like, be easy, do this, it's okay, if that thing is gonna slide. I'm like, no mom, no, you're the one who set these rules. You're the one who set up these rules. You know, it could be something as simple as like kindness or something. Sometimes when I do something kind to someone, because I'm a very kind person, when I do something kind to someone, my mom is like, huh, you have such a good heart. If it was me, I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, aren't you the person who raised me? Aren't you the person who told me to be this kind of person? Now that I'm this kind of person, you're complaining? Well, too late now. You can't change, you know? So basically, what I'm saying is, if you're fast now, you're going to be slow later. Yes, if you're fast now, you're going to be slow later, but just get used to it. It's life, it happens, so no judgment. I mean, people are going to judge you, yes, but you're going to be too old to listen anyway. And yeah, and there's like a lot of people who are stubborn and they have age to be stubborn. I mean, I am stubborn, but I'm not stubborn in a stupid way. Like, I stick with my opinion and I actually want you to prove me wrong. Like, tell me why I'm wrong. Don't just tell me because you say so, like, just tell me. Tell me why you think that is wrong. Let's have a debate about it. I'm that kind of person. So, of course, I know I'm going to age the debating with people and arguing with people all the time and like, but, yo, I know I'm going to still some people down, which is the thing that I hate the most. Because like in Nairobi, a lot of the times, because we have these public buses and we use them a lot, a lot of these public buses, when you get in, they are easy on you, but when you want to get off, the driver is just stepping on the gas and the bus is just flying. And like you have to constantly say, hey, stop me on the next stage, blah, blah, blah. Like you have to say the stage before you get there. You have to say, I'm stopping on the next side. So sometimes they're like, well, you should be at the door. You can't tell us you're stopping and you're still seated. So during that whole time, the person standing at the door, we call them conductors, the person standing at the door would just be like, I don't know why, but sometimes, how can somebody be having a bad day every day, 365 and a quarter days of the year? Seriously, Makangas or Nairobi, why? You know, so the whole time, they're like, I don't care. If you're going to stop on the next stop, you should be standing next to me at the door. And you're like, yo, maybe sometimes you have some, maybe you're carrying some luggage and like, you know, you don't want to fall and it takes too long. Yeah, so they're like, you should move faster. By the time you're moving, remember the vehicle is also moving. Until you make it next to the door where he is actually standing, he's not going to signal the driver to actually stop for you. So that is something. So you end up either being passed from the stage you was going to stop at, from the bus stop you had to stop at, and you find yourself in the next bus stop, which is very horrible. But sometimes you find good ones. I mean, all of them are not like that. Sometimes you find good ones that are like, yeah, she has some luggage. Or sometimes the passengers would be defending you, saying, yo, she has some luggage, just stop the vehicle at the right spot. And they would be sympathetic, I guess. Yeah, so sometimes you don't have a luggage, but you're like old or something. And they would also be sympathetic. But then you find these old ladies older ladies who are like, well, do you know I used to be very strong in my young age? Yeah. Okay, so there's that group of people who says, do you know I was very strong in my young age? And they're like, okay, fine. Okay, and then there's another group that says, okay, when they say, come here, mama, like when they call you mama or shosh, shosh is like grandma. So when they call you shosho or grandma, a lot of women get offended because they're like, don't call me that. I'm not your grandmother, you know? Like basically they get offended when they are called old. Yeah, so these guys, to mock them, they're like, okay, beautiful woman, come over here. Or they say Mrembo. Mrembo is basically like a young, beautiful woman. So they're like, okay, Mrembo, come over here. And it still makes it worse because now the people are going to be laughing at you, which is even worse. So sometimes you just stay quiet. I mean, it's better than responding, because if you say, don't call me that, they're going to give you even a worse name. So you have to like, okay, fine, like, just be chill about it. Play nice, be cool. All right, so yeah, guys, I know I've been yapping a lot. I'm on the potatoes, and I know by now you guys are still confused. What are we making, sir?
Yeah, how you were bragging.
About what? What am I bragging
You
about?
know how smart and kind you are?
Am I not smart and kind?
Dare I say the opposite?
What?
Dare I say the opposite?
Gerard?
Dare I say the opposite?
Who?
Me?
Why?
I can say the opposite.
Well, if
I will sleep
it's
hungry.
your opinion, sir.
I will sleep hungry.
I'm not gonna hang you with your opinion. Well, if you're gonna sleep angry, it's not because of me. It's because you chose to be dumb on a very good day. Yeah, so Christ have mercy. God forbid a woman wants to say she's smart, right? You okay?
Yeah.
Of course you're okay.
Yeah, of course I'm okay. You're holding a knife.
Please. Okay, so potatoes, like Ombachi would say, done. Potatoes, done. Okay. This is done. Guess what we're doing next? Oh my God. We are doing a lot of things. So, remember this bad noise I was deflating down here? Hope they're doing great. Next thing we need to do apparently frying is unhealthy, so we're gonna bake them. Apparently. Right, babe? No? So now, we add salt, spices. You can do whichever spices you like, but I'm just gonna go with salt. There's a spice that I'm really missing, and it's called paprika. Paprika is so nice with fries. I think paprika is from like bell peppers. It has this distinct taste for fries. If you've ever had it in your fries, it's just amazing. Yeah. So, baked potatoes. Or you can call them baked fries. Whichever makes sense to you. Some black pepper. Baked, spiced fries. The name keeps changing. Who knows? We might end up somewhere else. Okay, so I'm just gonna run this up through. Right. Then I have some mixed spice over here, which also goes well with this. Very nice. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this everywhere. Alright, the next thing, our favorite boy over here, our favorite baby. So I don't need it to come out like I want. Okay, so basically if you don't do that, they start to stick and burn and throw tantrums. We start with our favorite mixing, because we want all the spice to be part of this and all the oil to be part of every potato, so that every potato feels loved and appreciated. Yes, everybody needs to feel loved and appreciated. And the next thing that doesn't need to take too much of my time is up next. Now, next thing, if you're wondering, is, I know you've seen the ingredients, but you don't know where we're headed as a nation. Are we? No. We're not talking about the same nations, I guess. Everybody thinks about different things, but if your nation is headed in the right direction, good for you. A lot of us are still trying to fight for our independence back home, so you got that, right? Alright, so now some tiny amount of water, because if we mess this up, we're gonna end up with the wrong thing. Remember the part where I said rice turning to ugali and porridge, ugali turning to porridge? That part can happen to anyone. You might start cooking something and it turn into something different, and you're like, well, it doesn't hurt to actually do this. Point remains, that's not what you were trying to do, so it doesn't matter. Okay? Just in case you're wondering, my fingers are very clean, by the way. I wash them every 2 seconds, I touch something different. And I just added salt. Okay, I did add salt. The next thing I'm going to add is some baking soda. I got baking soda. Okay. Except this is not baking soda, this is like yeast, which works instantly. Let's see the wall. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Scream, shout, let it all out. Scream, shout, let it. Okay. We might use that ugali flour at some point, but they tend to be peaceful. Trying to make as little as possible of this. half a cup, because I just realized that's gonna be too little for what I'm looking for. Yes, if I get like 4 balls, I'll be fine. Yes, I think this is gonna give me 4 balls. 4 dough balls. But my experience look really, really nice. If anybody has noticed, they look amazing. I mean, at least they do to me, so I don't know about you guys. So for anybody who hates to make maybe chapati dough or anything else, and you hate to use your hands, please just use a wooden stick, a muiko. That's what we call it in Kenya. Just use a muiko. It's easier. Get the job done. You don't get to mess up with your hands. Your hands don't get to fight the flour until the last minute, so you're fine. So with this, we don't need it to be wet like the chapati. We don't need it to be too soft like the chapati's consistency or mandazi. We just need it to be well done, like not sticky, nothing, enough to be held without a fight. So yeah. So like I do ugali, you just need to do this to like spread it out, just to check if there's any flour that is left within the dough, and it helps to like pat it on the wall like that. I'm trying to have it in a very tight consistency because you don't need it to be wet at all. Like it's almost there, not yet. Just a bit more flour. That's good. When I'm talking about consistency, I mean it doesn't stick to your hands, okay? It's not still needing more flour. That's what I mean. So I'm just rolling it in and out. so that I can tell if it still needs more flour, which is exactly what I keep feeding it. The funny thing about these meals that I make, even my husband doesn't know what we are making every day. So all of you are just as lost as everybody else. Nobody actually knows what I'm making until I'm done. So I'm trying to test if I can get like the sizes I'm looking for. And yes, it's done. They're good. Just need to let this sit a while aside. Okay, this is done. I need to let it sit for a while. While it's sitting, I need to do something else. So I'm just gonna place it here and use my cloth to cover it for warmth, and then we'll move on to this. With cooking things from scratch, you always take a lot of time, okay? And the next thing we're going to do, okay. First thing first, wash this. So, if anybody's still wondering what I'm making some wraps. Yes, I'm making some wraps, and I'm going to use chicken, and I'm also going to use minced beef. Yes, so basically having two sets of different things. Yes, we're doing two different wraps. One is chicken, the other one is indeed going to be minced beef. Yeah. So if I had lettuce, I'd probably make it like a burrito or something. But to me, it's the same thing. It's a home version of what that would be. So in the meantime, I need my pan to start running because this always takes time to heat up, and I need them to just jump in. I used to make this chicken wrap where I used to work, and it was one of our favorite things to make because basically we weren't making any food at that joint. Well, they had a restaurant part of it, but the branch that I was in wasn't doing much of cooking. It was more of breakfast and dessert and the cafe kind of look. Yeah. So these were just a few things people could have for lunch. There was the chicken wrap, the pizza slices. I have never understood pizza slices. They don't make sense to me. What do you mean you only wanted a single slice? What do you mean? What are you talking about? How dare you, first of all? You know, and then like the sizes we were making were not even that big before you come for me. They were not that big. They were like tiny, tiny piece, like a single bread size pizza, and like, you know, things with like what you'd consider fast food. Yeah, so once my pan is heated, I'm just gonna add in the oil, dump the chicken. Literally, that's what I'm doing. This has to go cook. So yeah, like I said, we used to make this, I hope that thing is gonna swallow. We used to make these wraps, sell pizza slices, sell samosas. Like it didn't make sense to me, but yo, having money is nice, I guess. So people would kind of buy these single slices of meals. And like, you can tell they're not fulfilled, but like, who's gonna cry if everybody else is paying for it? No one. That's the thing with humans. As long as one person is not complaining, the rest feel like, well, if I complain, I'm gonna look stupid now. So basically not a lot for complaining. And then like the men, you know, men don't like to like shy away. I mean, women can pretend it's fine, but like men were like, okay, now we need to kind of have like ugali on the menu, guys. And mind you, this was like a foreign establishment. These people are not Kenyans, they were foreigners, so well, the meals they were making were not catered for a broad Kenyan audience, so that was that. Okay, so just waiting for this oil to heat. While I do that, I'm gonna put this back in the fridge. We don't need them to sit out here. I'll be back. Okay, so I feel like my heat is ready and I have seen it That's how I know it's ready, if you're wondering. Yes, it's not the seeing, it's the believing. Why is such a drama queen? Like, why are you so loud? Okay, the next thing we do is this baby over here. I'm just gonna pat it with some, like rinse it out a little bit because obviously I can't get into it, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so with this we don't have so much to do. We just need to get in the heat and start doing its thing. But then we need the chicken to finish up fast so it can join them. While that happens, what are we gonna do? Make the wraps. Okay? Never let the kitchen make you wait, especially if you have extra sauces or heat. Yeah, so like I can move them. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move them up and then use the other side. For the wrap AK. Yeah, that's the one. Look at me multitasking, holding three things at the same damn time. Women. Yeah. Don't forget about our potatoes, by the way. They're still there. This is our side of the field. You're doing a great job, Kylie. So, this is that. So I just need the chicken to turn brown on both sides. Yes, it's rising. Nobody's forming this time. It looks like, how do I call it, buffet for like brunch or something, where you just walk in and you put this and you put that and like. So yeah. Multitasking is something that women actually do best. It's our thing. also it's how people take advantage of us, I must mention. Because once you tell someone, I can multitask, I can work under minimal supervision. Right, there goes your paycheck going down, 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 down. And if you say you can't, they're going to say, well, a lot of women can actually multitask, you know. Sir, what do you mean, sir? What are you talking about, sir? Oh no. You want your shit, huh? It's giving the smell that I'm looking for, the aroma. That's baby, the aroma. So, this aroma is how we get to tell if we're doing the right thing. Human instinct. Very nice. Okay, so they've turned brown on one side. I need to flip them. Yes. We used to love making those chicken wraps for the guests because we would get to eat those tiny chickens while they were cooking. Like when it was done, it was like, ooh, something like you do that is not supposed to happen or something. But then again, they never used to give us lunch, so it makes perfect sense that people were hungry actually. I have this friend that was like a barista, and she would personally offer to actually make them. She was like, I'm gonna do it. Let me cook, please. Like every time you sell, she's like, go tell them, suggest to them that they want chicken wrap. It's nice. Just tell them it's nice. And we would go and say, well, this chicken wrap, if you want something a bit heavier, it wasn't heavy, but like, you know, just a wrap. Well, it's a filled wrap, but then again, is it heavy? No. Should not be categorized as heavy. I mean, unless you're eating 3 or 2, depending on if it's your first meal of the day. And our baby over here has started acting. It's giving me the exact smell we used to do when we were cooking it in the restaurant, in the cafe mostly. Yeah, the chicken just cooking on its own, without any extras, any nothing. Just chicken and the raw spices and everything else. So we are pan frying the chicken. It's not in some deep oil. Not pan fried, thin sliced, pan fried. Put it aside, get to the beef, the same thing. Also, because like this is the only place you're cooking it, make sure it's really, really well done, because chicken is always very, very delicate. Yes, I don't want you to end up in the emergency room because you followed some crazy woman who was cooking online. Okay? Alright? Yes, so this is our wrap and it's ready. Oopsie. God damn. Okay, so they're stuck together. The chicken is done. I'm taking it off the pan. Next thing is the beef. Ground beef. You can add some salt to your beef after it was cooked. For the chicken, not so much, but you can still add. Yes. So now you see why I first had to start by getting all my ingredients ready, because this is a lot of work and you can't just like think you're going to do this all at the same time. You just have to get the ingredients ready at some point, and so that when you start, you're actually just rolling. I love the sound of the dough and the yeast that walked in there. It's like just popping. It makes this pop pop sound. Like air is stuck inside of it, and it's basically just fighting to exist. Sir? So our wrap is supposed to look something like this. It's more like a chapati, but then it's not oiled. It's just plain bread. Also with the wrap, you need to kind of put some yeast in it because it's more of a bread than chapati. And I love how puffy they're coming out. They're just indicating my whole plan. Okay, so my minced beef is done. Some salt to my chicken because I didn't do that earlier. Ooh, stop banning me. Like I said, my minced beef is done. I'm just gonna set it aside because, well, we don't need it to go past that. It's already done. My bread is just swelling like, yo, calm down. Calm down, please. Okay, with that gone, we can move here. We reduce the heat so it doesn't control us because we are the ones in the kitchen cooking and it's the one being cooked. It's not supposed to be the other way around. Ooh, fancy. Sometimes I look at flat tops and I'm like, should I be using it to cook some bread? Like, no? Okay. Sure, so we're done here. And we have now one more to go, which is great news, because we're almost serving. That's what that means. We're almost serving, showing you how it looks, the final presentation. You're gonna love it. I know you're gonna love it. And you're gonna try to make this at home to enjoy with your family as well. Like I said yesterday, you can have some fun family day where you're like, this is restaurant day or eat out, eat home day. I don't know. You can call it whatever. I'm just giving you examples. So yeah. It's just something special you do with your family, like trying to create memories together. You know, like you can make pizza at home, like you can have pizza night with the whole family. Just creating memories, okay? And plus your kids are gonna think you're some genius cook. Yeah, just buy some wheat flour, baking powder or yeast, dump it in there, you're good to go. Sir, what do you mean, sir? Okay, so that was our last bowl. It has this air-filled sound. Yes, it has this air-filled sound in it. So for anybody that is new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm always doing these live streams every single day, like live cooking in the evening. I do live stream fitness every day at the gym. And tomorrow being a Saturday, I always do live dance sessions at home for fitness. Yeah, so I hope to see you there tomorrow as well. And hope you enjoy it as well. So please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can find the channel easily. I've noticed that when I do horizontal, a lot of my videos don't get recommended, so that's why I'm usually doing verticals, because, well, let's be real, verticals are easy to find. They're on the short feeds, so yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for the short feeds, where would you find me cooking? You probably never find this channel at all. Okay? So, this is us. Now, final wrap, close to presentation. Our potatoes are baking, remember? We have potatoes baking. We have a wrap cooking. What am I saying? Basically, all these things, you are going to buy them in a restaurant and probably pay a lot of money for it. I'm not saying you don't have money and like you don't deserve to be served. But then again, you have a family, right? And you sometimes just want to create memories with them.
Tell the people what are you cooking.
I already did. Somebody's asking?
Yeah.
So I am making wraps. Basically, I'm making a chicken wrap and a minced beef wrap. It's like a burrito, but then burrito has like wet cooked ingredients that are like in sauces. But for wrap, it's usually just one thing and then you just add everything else and you wrap it together. I hope you understand that. I also stand corrected if anybody wants to tell me a different way of cooking. So that was Jody. Jody, I am making a wrap, like a burrito wrap, but like usually in a burrito, I think most of the ingredients are wet, like they have the spices and sauces. But in a wrap, in the wrap that I'm trying to make, the wrap, it just has like one ingredient usually cooked and the rest are just you add them up. Yeah. So basically like a taco, but a taco has a different outer cover, which is usually hard and it's made with corn flour, I think. Yeah, so wraps usually have something that looks like a chapati that you use. And you basically just put things inside and then you just wrap them and then voila, 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 it's done. Ooh, guess who's getting spiced up burning? Almost. Yeah. We're taking you out, baby, don't worry. So, as far as everything is concerned, this kitchen is done. This meal is ready. We're ready to serve. We're ready to present. We're ready to show you how things look. So stick around guys, stick around. Okay? Don't go, Marita, don't go, don't run, don't run. I might be saving you from cooking the same thing every day, okay? I might actually be saving you. I might be your answered prayer from the Lord. To tell you actually how many different things you can make from home, and you'll be shocked. The 10th one will surprise you. Especially, I know. So, oopsie. Our chicken is there. Our beef is here. And our wraps are ready. Okay, our wraps are ready actually. I think I should have been here. Don't bust, don't bust. Sir, come down, sir. Sir. Sir? Sir, do you live here, sir? how powerful it is. It's refusing to actually lose that bubble it's created. Woo! Gone! I busted it out, it's gone. God damn, that was hot. Okay? So they're basically like bread. Done. Dusted. I don't want to make that. I don't want to make my plates all dirty, so I'm going to do this. Take the minced beef. Where is it? Yes. So now we take one wrap, we arrange the ingredients inside, and we basically show you how it looks. Take this for example, put it down, and we grab a plate. And my plate needs to have my baked potatoes, my Sheila. Yes, sir.
Are you finishing soon?
Yes.
I'm hungry.
Eat me. That's what African moms say. Eat me.
No, seriously, yeah.
Okay, I heard you. God damn. Yeah, husbands are basically your kids that want to embarrass you next to your visitors. I'm hungry. I mean, I know he's hungry, but then again, I'm hungry too. I live here. Okay, so this is it. We started lining things up. We're gonna have the chicken over here. You see how I'm plating it? Like I'm doing separate points. I can do the mix of both worlds. I have beef, I have chicken in one mix. Okay. The next thing we're gonna do is our avocado, which we're also doing the same thing with. We're trying to have them everywhere. Okay? Try not to have them in one place, because if you have them in one place, you're not gonna have enough equal sharing on every spot. Okay? The next thing we're doing is hot bell peppers. Just tiny mix of it there. The next thing is our favorite, tomato salsa. I am out of spoons. They're not there. I am not out of spoons. I was wrong, Olivia, I was wrong. The next thing I'm going to do is, you remember my tomato salsa? I'm just going to dump all of it in there. Some tomatoes. Make sure you're scooping somewhere that has tomatoes and onions, because mine hasn't been mixed up yet properly. Okay, next thing we're doing, our carrots with our cabbage combined. I'm just going to take a little bit combination of this. Basically, I made enough for a whole food truck to come pick everything up. Yeah, and then you add some cheese. This is where the problem starts. You need to wrap it properly. Are people fighting in my blog? So, oh my God, refuses to open. So this is us. I need you to stick together so that it doesn't cut off. I also need to show you how it looks in the middle. So that's why I'm holding on to it like this. Just give me a moment. Oh, the guy I was looking for. So basically, if you have a cling film at home, you can use to wrap it, but I don't have, not cling film, sorry, not cling film. If you have, what do we call it? Foil, sorry. If you have foil, you can use to wrap it, but I don't have foil. So I'm just going to use this, yes, to wrap it up. So a foil would have made a very nice presentation, but too bad we don't have a foil, right? But still this does the same thing. I just need you to see how it actually looks once it's done. Okay. The next thing is I was trying to find where the heck my other meal went to. Like, yo, are you for real? Like, you don't even know where you put your last meal. Are you serious? I know. And I'm so sorry, my plate is a bit tiny and like it doesn't give a clear presentation of everything, but I hope this works. So there's a little bit of that and some drop of lemon. This is what we're having, guys. I know you see it. I know you see it. You can see inside that wrap how we have everything arranged in together. On the side here is just my baked potatoes as a compliment to go with it, and some tomato salsa, which I still have plenty of. And the lemon, you can squeeze it in there, you can taste it. But remember, my wrap has chicken, beef, tomatoes, onions, basically tomato salsa. We have grated carrot and cabbage. We have red bell peppers and green bell peppers, and we have avocado, guys. So just take a look at it. This is us. This is something you'd find in your favorite restaurant, which I actually thought you guys are gonna guess, like a Mexican restaurant, because basically I love Mexican food. I think I relate more with Mexican food because it's spicy, yeah, and Africans love spicy meals. So thank you so much for watching. This is us. If you had a foil, you'd do the same thing at the far end. If you had a yeah, you drop the far end with it, but this is what I have, clear foil, so it's fine. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel. This is something I was trying to experiment with, and it came out exactly how I wanted it to. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again on the next one. Bye. Good night.